Hello class, this is URUREMBO class. I'm teacher Fidel. We are back again to our class. Now today's lesson is literature as usual, but today's lesson is the key aspect of prose. Key aspect of prose. Okay, remember this is senior 4. This is senior 4. Okay. So now we're going to see key aspect of prose. Then, before we go to key aspect, we have to know really what is a prose. In literature, we have 3 genres of literature. Remember previous lesson, I have introduced to you a literature. What is a literature? And we have seen types of literature or categories of literature. So today's lesson is key aspect of prose. So prose is one of genres of literature. Okay? So you can see now what is a prose, dear student. A prose is the most conventional form of writing. It's a form of writing. But this kind of form of writing characterized by the use of the rules of grammar. The use of rules of grammar. And then, generally speaking, this writing involves the use of sentences and paragraphs. What does it mean, dear student? It means that a prose is a genre of literature that is written in continuous sentences and organized into paragraphs. Okay? And then after paragraph we have a page. After pages we have chapters. And after chapters we have a book. So now you can see, dear student, when you're asked to provide examples of prose, please, these are examples. Okay? So we have novels. Okay? We have short stories, dear student. We have novellas. We have newspapers. We have articles. And you have letters. Dear student, I hope everybody knows letters. You have ever written a letter to your friend? Okay? How it looked like? That is a prose. Okay? And have you ever read any story? And have you ever read any newspaper? So now those newspaper, letters and articles, how they are organized. They are organized into paragraphs and they are written into sentences. So that is prose. Okay? That is the prose. And then, dear student, we're going to see now what is a novel. Difference between a novel, a novella, and a short story. What is the difference between those 2 terms? Okay, as example of prose. A novel is a long work of fiction. A novel is a long work of fiction written in prose form. Okay, written in continuous sentences and organized into paragraphs. That is a novel. In other words, okay, now they are opposed to drama and poetry. Okay, can you see? And a novel, one of the characteristics of a novel is that it has many characters. Okay? It has many characters. It has a complex story. Okay? And then it has a complex plot. And it has many conflicts and many plots. Right? Okay? So now you can see. So let's go to novella. A novella is shorter than a novel. It means why it is shorter than a novel. It has a few pages. Okay? It has a few pages. And it has a few characters, few conflicts. Okay? And a few subplots. Right? And then, dear student, a short story. Short story is short. Is shorter than all. Okay? whether novella or a novel. Okay? And this narrative, of course, is built on one main character. Is built on one main character, and also it is built on one conflict. And it has a very simple plot, less complicated plot. Okay, you can see, dear student, you can see a short novel. A short story is easier to read, and it is short. It has one main character, one main conflict or main theme, and one main message. Okay, dear student. So now, after differentiating all those three examples of prose, novel, novella, and short story, here we have activity. An activity is to read a short story, in a senior 4, on page 5 student book. You can find a story called The Conventions of an AIDS Victim. Conventions of an AIDS Victim. When you read this short story, you will have the time to analyze this story. How will you analyze? Okay? First of all, it is a short story. And you can just mention why it is a short story. And you have seen then that short story should build on one main character, okay, one main theme, okay, and one simple plot and a simple plot. Dear student, when you analyze a prose, there is aspect that you will focus on. When you are analyzing a novel, when you are analyzing a short story, when you are analyzing a novella, when you are analyzing any literary text, okay, now you have to focus on this. We can analyze the novel, novella, short story, etc. Number one, the key element or the key aspect, number one, when you analyze a novella, short story, or a novel, you have to focus on a plot. Plot is the key aspect, number one. There is no prose without a plot. So the plot is like a backbone, okay? It's like a backbone of the story. You can see now what is a plot, okay? A plot is how events follow one another. How events follow one another in a sequential manner. Dear student, now you can see that a story is built upon the events. So now how the events follow one another is what we call a plot. And then, dear student, we have types of plot, okay? We have types of plot. We have linear plot, okay? We have linear plot and you have circular plot. We have circular plot. When it is linear plot, okay? It is a linear plot, okay? When the event in that story, okay? When the events in that story are followed one another chronologically, okay? That will be called linear plot, okay? A linear plot, also we can call it a simple plot, okay? Because simply the events are followed chronologically one another. That is a linear plot. Also, dear student, we have the other type of plot. We have circular plot. We have a circular plot. Okay? When a novel or a prose has a circular plot, when it has a circular plot, okay, when the story starts and ends in the same place, you can see it is like a circle. It is like a circle. When the story starts and ends in the same place, that is a circular plot. That is a circular plot. Okay? That is a circular plot. And remember, the plot could have a flashback. Okay? In a plot, we could have a flashback. And the flashback comes to interrupt the chronological order of events. Because the flashback, okay, allow narrator to go back into the past, okay, to narrate the past events, okay. So then, also we have complex plot, complex plot, simple plot versus complex plot. In a literature, the difference between a simple plot and a complex plot lies in the level of intricacy or depth of the storyline, okay. Sometimes you have storylines which is complex, which is long, okay, which is long. And also, in that storyline, you find out flashbacks. That time will be complex. And then, this story cannot have one plot, but have plot and subplot. When it has subplot, it means there is a complex plot. I will have a chart at the end. I will show you how the complex plot is, okay? And then, a simple plot typically follows linear progress, as I have seen. A linear plot is the same as a simple plot, because it follows linear progress with a clear beginning. It has a clear beginning, it has a clear middle, and it has a clear end. It is a simple plot on a linear plot because it has these three elements. It has the beginning, clear the beginning, the middle, and clear the end. The events and the conflicts are straightforward and easy to follow. Okay? Yeah. Easy to follow, leading to the resolution. On the other hand, dear student, a complex plot has multiple storylines. Okay? As I told you, it has subplots, multiple storylines, and intricate character relationship. Also including subplots, dear student. And these plots, because it has not one plot, it has more than one plot, okay, may involve non-linear storylines. Because the narrator has just used the flashbacks. Those flashbacks interrupt the chronological order of events. That time it is complex. Okay, do you hear, dear student? And of course, dear student, also in this plot, the narrator can use the flashback for shadowing and suspense. Okay? The narrator may use flashback for shadowing and suspense. And dear student, flashback is when a narrator, okay, refers to the past and narrates the past events. And then foreshadowing is when, okay, the narrator shows a prediction in the future, shows a sign of what will happen in the future. And the suspense, dear student, is when the narrator ends the story, okay, in suspense, whereby there is no clear ending. Sometimes the readers, the audience, will wonder how the story will end, because suspense will just put the readers in just having so many questions, okay, in their mind, wondering what really the story should do, how the story really should end, okay? So, dear student, here we have 5 essential parts of plot. There is part of plot, okay? We have parts of plot. A plot has 5 essential parts. A plot has 5 essential parts. Those parts, they are here, dear student. Number 1, we have exposition. Maybe I will have a chart to show you clearly at the end. We have exposition. In exposition, dear student, the narrator introduces the story by showing the characters, background, and the setting, okay? Introduces the literary work, introduces the book by showing characters, main conflict, and setting. And then, dear student, the second part of the plot is rising action. Okay? Rising action. Now, in this is the second part of a plot. Now, in raising action, dear student, now events in the story become complicated. The conflict is revealed. In this part, please, in this part, okay, it is a part between introduction and climax. Okay, rising action causes climax. Okay, and then as you may see now, dear student, now there is a conflict. Okay, and the conflict in this rising action or to plot, this ties two incidents together, moves to the plot. Now the conflict now is rising, becomes big. Okay, and then the main character struggles to faces the challenge, start facing the challenges. Can you see? Now we have a type of conflict now. Let's see types of conflict. Because conflict is rising up, and this will lead to the climax. But now we have the other two types of conflict. We have internal conflict and we have external conflict. Internal conflict is within someone himself or herself. You can have a conflict in you, okay, with yourself, within yourself. And then we can have external conflict. External conflict, it means outside of yourself. It means environment around you, okay. And then here now, a character may have a conflict with another character. It means struggles against other people. And then also, a character can have a conflict with nature. And when the character has a conflict with the nature, it means the struggle is against the animals, the weather, environment, etc. Okay? And also there is a time whereby the character can have a conflict with the society. And this is struggles against the idea, practice, or customs of others. It means when you violate the attitudes and the values, norms of others, they can just fight against you. And it is no longer individual or person, also it is a society that will fight against you. Dear student, we are on now third part of plot. The third part of plot, dear student, it is climax. Okay, what is a climax? What is a climax? Dear student, I will have a chance to show you on chart clearly what is a climax. But you can see, dear student, a climax is the turning point of the story. Turning point of the story. When I say turning point of the story, what does it mean? Now readers who are reading the story or a play or a short story. Now we wonder what will happen next. Okay? We wonder what will happen next. And will just conflict be resolved or not. Okay? Now, for this part, the reader has in his mind different suggestions of what will happen. Maybe say, this main character, will he die or not? Will he die or not? Will he survive? So the questions remain in the head. Because of how now the conflict reaches on the high level. The conflict reaches on high level. And so then, dear student, now the main character, this is as the threefold phenomenon. Now here, the main character receives the new information. Okay? And then the main character accepts this information. But by accepting this information, will start reacting what he or she will do about the information. Main character acts now. Starts acting about the information he comes to receive. Okay? Then now, in acting, they will be coming the first part of a plot, which called the following action. In the following action now, the main character is trying to look for solution of the problem. Okay? Now is getting the resolution of the problem. Okay? Now the last but not least, dear student, the last part of a plot is resolution. Now, this is the final outcome, of the event in the story. But as you have seen, the end of the resolution of the story should have not a clear ending. When it has not a clear ending, it is when the author puts you in suspense. Use the suspense. Okay, no clear ending. But you as a reader, you will look for yourself and start now asking questions or just having different suggestions of how the story should end. So now, before we close our lesson today, dear student, I would like to show you the chart. Okay, this is the plot diagram. This is a plot diagram. Clearly you can see now. The plot diagram we have here, dear student, look here now. This is what I told you as exposition. It's like the beginning of the story. Okay? You can see. Here we have seen that the narrator introduces the readers, the characters, setting, and the conflict. But in the second part, rising action. In rising action, you can see now how it is. The conflict now is rising. The conflict is rising. Now the main character is facing many challenges. Okay? Now is facing many challenges. And then this leads to climax, the turning point of the story. Whereby now the main character faces what we can call a worst situation. The worst situation. In this worst situation, as readers, we wonder what will happen. Now we are wondering, in fear, we are fear. We are afraid of what will happen to the main characters. So then, now after, dear student, the main character try to look for the solution of the problem. This is the firing action until he gets the resolution. Okay? Can you see the chart very clearly, dear student? Here I have another chart. Okay? Here I have another chart. You can see on this chart then, this is the second chart. Okay? Now, exposition. We have introduction of full setting, characters, situation, or climate. Then as the raising action. There is a list of complications. There is a list of conflicts. Okay? As they move up, they become many and very bad until they reach to the climax. Okay? Now firing action, you can see firing action, and then for resolution. And then the conflict is about the protagonist versus the antagonist. Right, dear student? So now, this is about the plot, and this is the end. I hope this is a very important lesson to you for senior 4 student. And then, as the activity, now if you are going to read a short story, now you will use this chart, okay? If you read the story, remember to write, okay, the title of the book, the author of the book, and try to fill this. As you read, try to fill this gap, okay? Write the exposition of the story you are reading, write the rising action of the story you are reading, and write the climax of the story you are reading, then write the final action, and write the resolution. Thank you for today, and I hope you will meet next time, and keep just subscribing on our channel. This is the URUREMBO class. Please invite others and share and comment. We love you so much. Thank you. See you next time.